I'm Mr. Kreal. I teach 5th grade math and science here at Magnolia, and I wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about Dr. Mae Jemison, who is, among other things, a scientist, a medical doctor, a former astronaut, and a college professor. Dr. Jemison was born in 1956 in Decatur, Alabama. Her family moved to Chicago when she was a little girl, and she considers Chicago her home. She is the youngest of 3 children. Her father was a carpenter, and her mother was a school teacher. She grew up loving math and science and was an excellent student. She decided first after college to be a medical doctor and graduated from Cornell Medical College in 1981, and then spent over 2 years working with the Peace Corps in Sierra Leone and Liberia as a medical doctor. When she was in high school, there was a TV show called Star Trek in the late 1960s. And on that TV show, there was a character, Lieutenant Uhura, who was played by actress Nichelle Nichols. And boys and girls, at that time, there were very few role models for young African American girls. And Mae Jemison greatly looked up to and admired this fictional character, a African American woman who was an officer aboard a starship, totally fictitious, but still a very good role model. So in 1985, Mae Jemison applied to NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and became the first African American woman to be an astronaut. So this is a picture of her aboard the space shuttle in near-Earth orbit, or zero gravity. It's not really zero gravity, but virtually weightless in space. This is a remarkable achievement. Dr. Jemison spent a little over 6 years working with NASA. She left NASA in 1993 to pursue other things, but let's just take a moment to see her in orbit. Okay, now this is really cool. So a few moments ago I referenced Star Trek. So Dr. Jemison, who loved Star Trek, years later they came out with Star Trek The Next Generation, and Dr. Jemison got a small cameo appearance on an episode of Star Trek with her hero, actress Nichelle Nichols. So years later they got to be on screen with her hero, and I am a huge fan of both Star Treks, but specifically Star Trek The Next Generation. So she could even say with her credits is an actress. As mentioned, she left NASA in 1993. Since that time, she has worked as a college professor at prestigious Stanford University in California. Okay, she very recently turned 65 years old. She gives lecture tours and she does some writing and is very prominent in many scientific circles. I have selected this one quote, but she has many other inspirational quotes. Don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, your curiosity. Go and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live. Professor, scientist, medical doctor, actress, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dr. Mae Jemison. If you want to read more about Dr. Jemison, you can log into your Newsella account, and there is at least one article on the fascinating, interesting, and inspirational life of this American woman who has done some really remarkable things. Also, there are at least 2 books here in the library at Magnolia Public School on her life. So I hope that you follow up on that and read up on truly an American original, a unique and wonderful and educated and exciting person, Dr. Mae Jemison. Thank you for your time with this. Thank you.
When I went into space, I carried a number of things up with me. I carried a poster by Alvin Ailey. You can figure out now I love the dance company. An Alvin Ailey poster of Judith Jamison performing the dance Cry, dedicated to all black women everywhere. A Bundu statue, which was from the Women's Society in Sierra Leone, and a certificate for the Chicago public school students to work to improve their science and math. And folks asked me, why did you take up what you took up? And I had to say, because it represents human creativity. The creativity that allowed us, that we were required to have to conceive and build and launch the space shuttle, springs from the same sources, the imagination and analysis it took to carve a Bundu statue, or the ingenuity it took to design, choreograph, and stage Cry. Each one of them are different manifestations, incarnations of creativity, avatars of human creativity. And that's what we have to reconcile in our minds, how these things fit together. The difference between arts and sciences is not analytical versus intuitive, right? E=mc² required an intuitive leap, and then you have to do the analysis afterwards.